the Shedeur Sanders, I want to talk about this. So here's a prime example. Shedeur Sanders, they had 3-day mini camp for the Cleveland Browns. And now Jimmy Haslam actually has some money. The Bengals owners and the Rooneys are near the bottom of the league in net worth. But what the Browns have is what I would call, the Buffalo Bills used to have this years ago, pre-Josh Allen. Low sports self-esteem.
The Browns thought they were getting a rookie QB. Instead, they got a media-savvy, swagger-loaded kid-turned-alpha. What did these grizzled veterans whisper behind closed doors about Shedeur Sanders? Let's just say, jaws hit the turf. Buckle up. This tea is hotter than Cleveland in July and twice as messy.
Shedeur, you guys got to know him very well in the process. You've got to know him a lot better here in the last month. Obviously, when you are who he is and everybody knows who you are and has known who you are since you were probably 15, 16, there's something that's to that. But his teammates gravitate to him quite a bit. What have you learned about him over the last month?
I don't know that we've learned anything new because, like you mentioned, I feel like we have a great feel for this young man. He's a very, very hard worker. He has fun when he's in the building. I'm enjoying watching him progress with every single meeting, with every single rep. He's doing a great job, and I think as a
So the Browns veteran sat down, probably in one of those top-secret, dimly lit locker room circles where Gatorade bottles double as microphones, and they had thoughts, big thoughts, about Shedeur Sanders. And let's just say, it wasn't the "Welcome to the League, Rook" speech. No, this was more like a stunned therapy session disguised as trash talk.
great kid, and whether it's a following that he's earned, I mean, that's something that he's done a great job of interacting with fans. And but he is a great kid. You guys will get to know him more. He's working like crazy, just like all the guys. He's another young man. These rookies, my office is downstairs. As they got to walk by my office as they come in. They come in early. And Shedeur, just like all those guys, he's in there early. He's getting his work done. So he's working really hard. I like it.
My thing is, they never planned on taking him. The problem is, like Ocho Cinco said, you got somebody that has endeared himself to the locker room. And guess what? The difference between him and Tim Tebow, the biggest one, is he can play. He can throw the ball. Tim Tebow running around being an H-back. He can throw the ball. And he's done everything he needs to do. He ain't saying nothing. He ain't rocking the boat. He ain't mad about the reps. He ain't mad about none of that. All the people out there want to see is this, like Tyver said earlier. We want to see what he can do with Jerry Jeudy.
That's it.
I want to see what he can do with David Njoku. I want to see him with Junkins. I want to see him with the first running backs. If you are cooking, if you are beating down the doors with the 3s and 4s, guess what? You deserve more. That was a bar. It rhymed.
Because here's the thing, they didn't expect that. They thought they were getting your standard issue rookie quarterback, some nervous kid clinging to a clipboard, whispering audibles like it's his first high school date. But instead, Shedeur strolled in like he owned the stadium lease, shook a few hands like a senator on campaign day, and started throwing dimes like they were leftover Halloween candy.
Hopefully they don't have to use one of those first-round picks they have next year towards the quarterback position. Realistically, in a perfect world, Shedeur or Dylan Gabriel is your franchise quarterback and DeJuan Jones is your franchise left tackle. Now we really cooking with them 2 picks in the first round. A lot of people are going into this season with low expectations for the Browns. He is probably the one bright spot right now that people are like, you know what though? If we don't win no games, but he looks good and you know what I'm saying, we can figure out the quarterback situation and he's the answer. That's a successful season to a lot.
And that's when the whispers started. Not your regular rookie banter like, oh, he's got potential or he's learning fast. No, this was, do we even have a QB competition? Or did this kid just declare martial law in minicamp? One guy reportedly tried to flex on Shedeur by talking about his years in the league, and Shedeur responded by outreading the defense before the guy even finished his sentence. The vets were shook. You could practically see the flashbacks hit. Like, did I just get shown up by a rookie in Louis Vuitton cleats? Then came the throws. These weren't normal, conservative, just-get-it-there rookie tosses. These were spicy, disrespectful lasers that hit receivers in the chest so hard, someone yelled, "Call the EMTs." He was slicing through defensive schemes like he came pre-installed with Madden Vision.
Browns vets kind of weigh in on Shedeur Sanders and how he's been since he arrived in Cleveland, in Pound Town. And I think it's very, very important that we discuss it because it'd be really easy for these vets to, this wasn't like a on the record interviews. This is just kind of back channels into what the vets are saying, the rumors, but the sources telling us. And we have a couple quotes, but Shedeur Sanders, Cleveland Browns, it seems like it's going well. And it's almost like you don't want to talk about it. Don't say that out loud.
The defensive veterans tried to confuse him. They threw weird coverages, shifted late, ran disguised blitzes. And Shedeur just stood there like, oh, cute, you're trying. He dropped back with the calm of a man ordering coffee, spotted the hole, and boom, ball's already 30 yards downfield, and the linebacker is still wondering what just happened. The sideline energy changed. The whispers turned to raised eyebrows. Some even claimed that a couple defensive backs started holding their knees and pretending to stretch just to avoid getting torched on the next rep. Smart move. Self-preservation is key.
And he's like, dude, listen, the guy, all I can say is that he goes where the ball's supposed to go, and it looks the way it's supposed to look. Mm-hmm. And when I hear that tells me it sounds like the Browns may have got a steal with Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round, because I think he'll have a chance. I'm not saying he's going to be the starting quarterback in September, like week 1 or 2 or whatever it may be early in the year, but I think he's got a chance to develop into something that hopefully would preclude them from having to draft a quarterback first overall or top.
I think that Damian is saying what I'm about to say in a roundabout way. Louis Riddick, I'm going to be straight up and down with you because you know how much I revere you. I completely disagree with you with what you're saying, and I'm disappointed in what you didn't say. A lot of this was about primetime Deion Sanders. You can say whatever you want to the audience out there, to these idiotic trolls all over social media talking about, Shedeur Sanders wasn't that great or whatever. There is no one, I repeat, no one that looked at Shedeur Sanders and even had him less than the 3rd best quarterback in the draft.
Even funnier, some of the Browns staff started looking at each other like, so are we still doing the develop slowly plan, or did he just tear that up with one hand while filming an Instagram reel with the other? Because the moment Shedeur started running 2-minute drills like a caffeinated surgeon, the vibe shifted. The vets went from skeptics to, well, confused fans. And in true Browns fashion, no one wanted to admit it out loud. That's why the best commentary came from private conversations. You know, those sacred locker room-only quotes that leak faster than a Cleveland lead in the 4th quarter. One vet reportedly muttered, he's too calm. It's weird. Another said he reads defenses like he's been here 10 years. And the best one? Someone actually asked if Coach Prime was hiding inside his helmet, feeding him plays through spiritual Bluetooth. That's how rattled they were.
He's the only person who's come out and say, hey, man, this dude look kind of good, man. Let me tell you what I heard. A lot of people reaching out to players in the locker room and stuff. To me, I think it's a red herring. Like, I'm supposed to suspend myself to disbelief that he was going to look bad. I've never expected him to look bad to start with. The 5th round quarterback stuff, that's involving perceptions, pre-draft analysis, and other teams talking about what he did or what he didn't do.
It wasn't just the throws either. It was the way Shedeur owned the field. The kid has that presidential walk, the one where everyone's watching and somehow he knows it but doesn't even blink. And let's be honest, this is Cleveland. Swagger this strong is considered contraband. So naturally, that led to the old vet panic spiral. You know how it goes. Well, let's see how he does when the pressure's on. Followed 5 minutes later by Shedeur casually dodging a collapsing pocket and throwing across his body like physics don't matter anymore. At one point, a seasoned linebacker was seen staring off into the distance, probably questioning everything. That man tackled Brady, held Mahomes to under 300, and yet here he was getting juked by a guy who hasn't even ordered his first NFL DoorDash.
If anybody tries to tell you that this Shedeur Sanders thing was not intentional, just watch this clip of the Browns GM after day 2 of Shedeur not getting picked.
Industry. All I can say is this, the time that we spent with Shedeur, and what he's done throughout his college career is impressive. He's an impressive young man. He's a really good quarterback. Sometimes fit comes into play, and I'd also say this, there are 4 more rounds of the draft.
That was a man that admitted to loving everything about Shedeur Sanders. Loved the way he met him, loved his character. The number 2 quarterback ranked on this board, and his team.
The veterans realized something horrifying. Shedeur wasn't just here to learn. He was here to compete. Like, really compete. And the worst part? He might already be better than half the guys in that room. One lineman joked that Shedeur came preloaded with cheat codes. Another didn't joke at all and just quietly started Googling trade rumors. And don't forget, the Browns aren't exactly known for handling quarterback surprises well. Every time someone gets hot, it's either a controversy, a meltdown, or a 20-minute press conference where someone says, "We believe in our guy," while blinking in Morse code for help. But Shedeur's presence, it's too loud to ignore. He's not just making throws, he's making statements. Every play is a subtle flex. Every drill is a highlight reel. He even corrects coaches without breaking a sweat. Like, "Oh, coach, actually cover 6 converts to match quarters when they shift the tight end. Anyway, let's go again."
Well, you don't play football all the time. You're a human being the rest of the time. And how you're going to be in the locker room, how he already came up with this line of merchandise, legendary, like he's already calling himself legendary. All those things are problems. Right now, he's working check to check, man. Like, he's not going to get a big signing bonus. There's not going to be a big guarantee. Any day they want to get rid of him in the week, they can get rid of him.
Don't we think Shedeur is smart enough to know he's not at Jackson State and he's not at Colorado?
No.
You don't think so?
I listened to too many of his answers. I saw too many of the outtakes. I saw too many times he was working out with other players, and he said things that I thought were highly questionable.
At this point, even the water boy is considering asking for a selfie. The Browns vets are living in a world they weren't ready for. A world where the rookie isn't asking for advice. He's giving TED Talks in the film room. He's rewriting the pecking order. He's doing just enough to not be cocky, but too much to be ignored. And sure, they won't admit it publicly. They'll say it's early. They'll say it's just practice. They'll say he's coming along nicely. But behind closed doors, they know. Shedeur Sanders didn't come to ride the bench. He came to take the keys. And the veterans? They're just hoping he lets them sit shotgun.